Hello, in this video we're looking at a meme build for the Berserker, but it really could have been almost any job. I chose Berserker because they have Berserk, or um, just another big damage boost that you can slap on improved effect Berserk and make that go high. And did I say meme build? So we're basing this around the Ruin command ability, and it's like, why is this here? Anywho, we're going to just be silly with it and try to push it to new heights without without very much intellect. Look at our Berserker, 97 intellect against this Trials 180 content. So not super great here. I'm intentionally avoiding certain trials just so that I can actually have a little bit of fun with this and not like dodge for an extra 40% longer. Anywho, uh, so meme build across our gear, we have improved effect Berserk and damage dealt Ruin. And then we have strength on a lot of pieces, but strength wasn't really helping as much as I hoped for the break damage part of Ruin. But uh, the Berserker is not getting any intellect, so the HP damage route wasn't available to me. Uh, or at least not in the same way as the break damage route is going to be. And then I have non-elemental break damage dealt, Enduring Lightbringer break damage dealt, because that also impacts Chaosbringer. And then I have some status ailment resistance to get to 100%. And I also have damage taken at max HP in case I am hit. If it's a physical hit, I'll probably survive it. If it's a magic hit, I'm just dead at this point because those just even a weak spell's probably going to hit me for about like 8,000 damage. And even though I have more than 8,000 HP, uh, I'm not always going to get hit by a weak spell. I'm going to get hit by a big one. And so that's why we have our trusty Knight 400% to help us live and also cause us a massive momentum loss when we're hit. So we don't want to be hit at all, which is why we have teleport. So we dodge out of the way. And then I have the Dragoon 400% just to help out with attack speed or cast speed, as well as a little bit of movement speed. And then I have Monk 600%. This one's pretty big for the Ruin because some conversion of that my HP turns into this like bigger boost of non-elemental damage that actually increases the break damage of Ruin quite a bit. So I went with it. And the Berserker is here because I thought I'd be using the Protect and Shell, but I rarely get hit, and if I do get hit, it's a giant momentum loss. And then I have Assassin 400% to help out with the break damage dealt, even though I'm not really benefiting very much from agility. Reality, I'd like to see Samurai with Ruin and Barrage stacked with Fenrir gear and Samurai and Assassin. I'd love to see that, and maybe I will, but not right now. Across my gear, I also have Odin, so Odin bringing out a lot more strength. But being this is a meme video, I don't want to go super crazy in depth about everything on it because it's just a meme that I can't really recommend, even though I'm going to show it so that I remember what it was like. On the monk, I messed up here because the monk was set up to be a sentinel casting monk. So I do have improved effect Chaosbringer to help out with the break damage during Chaosbringer, and improved effect Focus to help out even more with Focus. And then I have things like Lightbringer Duration, so that my Chaosbringer lasts longer, and my Soul Burst MP recovery, so that when I do Soul Burst the enemy, I get a crap load of max MP back, since the current Chaosbringer, or the final Chaosbringer, you only recover max MP if you Soul Burst the enemy. So any video you might have saw before January 27 with Chaosbringer, January 27 of 2023, with Chaosbringer, that doesn't apply in the same way. So those builds are out in that same capacity. Let's see. And then I have Void Knight 120% to help out with the max MP recovery uh, when I Soul Burst the enemy. And then I have the Breaker also 120% to help out with the Soul Burst MP recovery. And then I have Summoner 600%. I meant to put this with Leviathan, so I was. Well, we fixed it. We caught it. So when I do Soul Burst an enemy, I get double the amount of whatever Leviathan's contribution is to max MP. And then, just as a side effect, I do have Cyclic Warrior 250% in case things go catastrophically wrong. I'm gradually getting max MP back, but at that point, I usually chalk it up to it's game over. Gambler 120%, so that when I chain cancel, I get some max MP back based on my luck. So, I again had this build set up for Sentinel, so my master points are a bit of a mess, and I'm not going out of my way to optimize it. Samurai 250% for the damage boost every once in a while as an enemy's spawning. And then the Red Mage 250% so that I don't charge my focus as long because my Chaosbringer time is precious and I don't want to use all of it up on just focus. Just looking at our master points real quick, more or less. I forgot to invest my master points. Um, okay, let's just do this. So, uh, the HPs for monks 600% or 400%, 600%. Strength is for the ruin, berserker for to help more strength, ability break damage dealt, and the just whatever other break damage dealt I could take advantage of. Max break damage that actually does impact you while you're in Lightbringer or Chaosbringer, so feel free to use that. Um, and then the monk, we have the monk again, traces of a sentinel build, but what's relevant, the two things that are really relevant are increased MP limit boost rate and the Lightbringer duration for now. Uh, if I were trying to optimize the Chaosbringer build, I would invest a crap load into Soul Burst MP recovery, and I might even have some luck just to help out with chain canceling in between rounds. But we're going to do two things. We're going to go in, again, I'm intentionally, or maybe not again, I can't remember. I'm intentionally not setting up break damage dealt trials or enemy stat trials or the HP trials just because I want this video to be like under 15 minutes, maybe even under 10. It's not under 10, is it? It's probably way over that already. That sucks. Let's go and just fight an enemy. We're going to go fight just like one boss phase just to show what, two boss phases just to show what this is like. But again, I cannot recommend a Spellzerker or this Ruin build. And then this is where we would Soul Burst and we'd get all that MP back. So max MP. Whoa. Whoops. And that's not entirely fair because she doesn't really have that much break gauge to begin with, but that's how things would go, uh, more or less, without trials. With trials, just add like 50% more time, and that's not that becomes less harder to sustain. Uh, and just how this does against enemies, we're gonna try it out, even though it's going to be pretty tricky because we're gonna end up just like soul bursting them, and well, here we go. Mm. So we soul burst our friend here, get our max MP. And that's kind of how it ends up going. I know this looks kind of crazy, but so yeah, more or less that's kind of how things could go. Um, but a lot of button presses, and you're just kind of doing the same two things. You're teleporting out of the way and casting ruin, and then you're recycling all of your buffs and occasionally trying to um, what's the word? Oh my gosh, recycle your buffs, soul burst, and cast ruin and dodge. Uh, that's all you're doing. But yeah, no. And then the allies, if you use them, they are. In this case, I'm too lazy to switch out my gear. Otherwise, this would have been, instead of assassin, that would have been breaker job affinities, so that Jed is sharing 12% of all of his strength through Liberator 600%. Um, and his gear would have been like Fenrir or Odin, but you could see that I have some pieces that probably are not meant for this specific build. That's fine. Um, was a meme build that I wasn't going to go all in on, except I kind of did. Um, and then Sophia, she's set up for this pretty well because she has Samurai and Breaker, and the excess job affinity over 800%. We'll say Breaker. Just imagine getting like 6 strength. Actually, it's probably more than that, but Breaker getting Breaker stats and Samurai stats, you're going to get a lot of strength, which is why her strength is so high compared to Dragoon and more compared to like these other jobs. So, yeah. Uh, hopefully this video is under 15 minutes, and yeah, don't actually do this. Well, I mean, you could, but I mean, no, just stop. I'll stop. Uh, yeah, until next time. This does not count as the Berserker build.